Hello, second graders, and welcome to our math lesson for today. Today we're doing lesson 10.6, which is titled Problem Solving and Display Data. And this is going to be the last lesson in Chapter 10. So for tomorrow, we're actually going to be doing a kind of like a review lesson of the whole chapter, and then you'll be taking a Chapter 10 little assignment or quiz. But for today, we're going to be doing the last lesson in Chapter 10, which is, again, 10.6. And the essential question that we're going to be asking ourselves and answering by the end of this lesson is, how does making a bar graph help when solving problems about data? So you've learned now how to read a bar graph. You've learned how to now make a bar graph to represent data. And now we're going to be learning about how making a bar graph can help with solving problems that have to do with data.
Okana loves to go fishing, and so do the people who come to the park. The park rangers keep track of the number of fish each person catches. I found a chart that shows this information. Click the fishing rod to see the chart. The chart is a bar graph. I wonder how many people caught 3 fish. How can we read the chart to find out?
So let's look at that for a second before we move on. So he's wondering, how do we find out how many people caught 3 fish? And so this could be a problem that you might have to solve that you can use a bar graph to help you do that. So in this case, if Mr. Bear over here wants to know how many people caught 3 fish, then he can just look at the bar graph, look at the number 3, and see which people's bar stops right at number 3. So in this case, Mike caught 3 fish, and Brad also caught 3 fish. Okay?
Maria recorded the rainfall in her town for 4 months. How did the amount of rainfall change from September to December? What do you need to find? You need to find how the amount of rainfall changed from September to December. What information do you need to use? You need to use the amount of rainfall in each of the 4 months. Show how to solve the problem. Let's use a bar graph to show how the amount of rainfall changed from September to December. The bars will show the amounts of rainfall for each month. What title can we use for the graph? The title of the graph is Rainfall in Maria's Town. We know the number of inches of rainfall for September, October, November, and December. Let's show the names of the months at the bottom of the graph. Abbreviations are usually used to show the names of months on graphs. Let's use them for this graph. What label can we write below the names of the months? We know the amount of rainfall in inches for each month. Let's show inches on the left side of the graph. We can use the label amount in inches because the numbers on the left side give the number of inches of rainfall. Now let's use bars to show the amount of rainfall for each month. The bar for September is drawn to 5 because the chart lists 5 inches of rainfall for September. Let's draw the bar for October. The bar for October is drawn to 4 because the chart lists 4 inches of rainfall for October. Now let's draw the bar for November. The bar for November is drawn to 3 because the chart lists 3 inches of rainfall for November. Finally, let's draw the bar for December. The bar for December is drawn to 2 because the chart lists 2 inches of rainfall for December. There was less rainfall in October than in September. There was less rainfall in November than in October. And there was less rainfall in December than in November. The amount of rainfall decreased each month from September to December.
So that's a big word that they use there. So decreased means kind of like went down or got less. Okay, so when they say the amount of rainfall decreased, it means that there became less and less rainfall each month. Okay, if it was flip-flopped and it's, September had little rainfall and then by December it had a lot of rainfall, we would use the word increased, because increased means kind of like going up or adding more. Okay, so that's what they mean by decreased. So the amount of rainfall decreased or got less each month from September to December, and we can say that because we can look at the bar graph and see that for each month the bar seems to get smaller and smaller.
Matthew measured the height of his plant once a week for 4 weeks. Describe how the height of the plant changed from May 1st to May 22nd. You can solve the problem by making a bar graph to help you see how the height of the plant changed. The numbers on the left show the height of the plant in inches. The dates Matthew measured his plant are shown at the bottom of the graph. Drag the title and labels to their correct location on the graph.
Okay, so let's see. So we're going to have the date go down here, right? Because these are the dates of which Matthew measured the height of the plant. Okay, and then this over here is the height in inches of each plant. So then the title would be height of Matthew's plant. Okay?
That's right. The bar graph should look like this. Let's add the bars. The bar for May 1st is drawn to 1 because the chart lists that the plant was 1 inch tall on May 1st. Now let's draw the bar for May 8th. The bar for May 8th is drawn to 2 because the chart lists that the plant was 2 inches tall on May 8th. Next, draw the bar for May 15th. The bar for May 15th is drawn to 5 because the chart lists that the plant was 5 inches tall on May 15th. Let's draw the bar for May 22nd. The bar for May 22nd is drawn to 6 because the chart lists that the plant was 6 inches tall on May 8th. The bar graph shows that the plant grew taller each week. You can find how many inches the plant grew from May 1st to May 22nd. The plant was 1 inch tall on May 1st and 6 inches tall on May 22nd. Subtract the height of the plant on May 1st from the height of the plant on May 22nd.
Okay, so it's asking us, the plant grew blank inches from May 1st to May 22nd. So like she said, take the height of the plant on May 1st and subtract it from the height of the plant on May 22nd. So on May 22nd, it was 6 inches tall, and on May 1st, it was 1 inch tall. So 6 minus 1 equals 5. So the plant grew 5 inches from May 1st to May 22nd.
That's right. The plant was 1 inch tall on May 1st and 6 inches tall on May 22nd. 6 minus 1 is equal to 5. The plant grew 5 inches from May 1st to May 22nd.
So it's really important that when you get problem-solving questions or word problems about data and displaying data, either through like a picture graph or a bar graph, it's always really important to first look at the data, make your graph based on the data, and then look at the question that it's asking you. So in this problem, we looked at the data, then we made a bar graph that represented that data, and then we were asked a problem-solving question that we used our bar graph to solve. Okay, so always make sure you kind of take it in steps. Don't try and answer the question right away. Take it in steps, look at your data, display your data on a bar graph or a picture graph or any kind of graph, and then use that graph that you made to help you answer the problem-solving question. Okay, it's very, very important.
Now let's practice with the personal math trainer.
Okay. So number 1 says Bianca made a bar graph to show the number of hours that she practiced playing guitar in June. If Bianca's practice time is 4 hours in 5 weeks, how does her practice time change from week 1 to week 5? Okay, so it says, okay, so if Bianca's practice time is 4 hours in 5 weeks, how does her practice time change from week 1 to week 5? So it says A, the amount of practice time increases from week 1 to week 5, or B, the amount of practice time increases from week 1 to week 4 and decreases from week 4 to week 5. So basically, if there was another week here and Bianca practiced 4 hours during that week, then that means that her bar for week 5 would go right to the number 4. Okay? And if that were to happen, we would then look at the entire graph, and we would notice that from week 1 to week 4, her practice time increased every week, right? So she started off at 1 hour on week 1. Then week 2, she went to 2 hours, which is more than 1. Then on week 3, she went to 5 hours, which was more than the 2 hours she did on week 2. And then week 4, she did 6 hours, which was even more than the 5 hours she did in week 3. So 6 hours here, but then in week 5, she only did 4, which is less than what she did in week 4, which was 6. So we can say that the amount of practice time increased from week 1 to week 4, but then decreased from week 4 to week 5.
You did it!
Okay. Now, number 2 says, use the line plot. How many strings are more than 6 inches long? So this is another example. It's not using a bar graph, but it's another example of using a type of graph to help you solve a problem. So again, it says, use the line plot. How many strings are more than 6 inches long? Okay, so if you remember from line plots, you actually have to count all of the x's because each x is representative of one piece of string. Okay, so we're going to see which ones are more than 6 inches. So we're not going to count the ones that are 6 inches because we're looking for ones that are more than 6 inches. So we're not going to count these. But 7 inches, 8 inches, and 9 inches are all longer than 6 inches. So we're going to count every x that is on the 7, 8, and 9. So let's do that now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there are 12 strings which are more than 6 inches long.
You did it!
Nice job.
Now try your homework on your own with the personal math trainer. It includes the exercise you saw at the beginning of the lesson.
Okay, so we can now log on to Think Central and do the assignment for 10.6. And remember, any question that you get, make sure that you first look at the data. Make sure that your data can be represented in some kind of graph or display. And then use that graph or display to then help you answer the question that is being asked. Okay, those are very important. It's very important that you follow those 3 steps because if you just try to answer the question right away without any graph or any data table, then it's going to be really, really hard for you to answer the question correctly. So make sure you do those 3 steps first before answering the question. Okay, everybody? So go ahead and log on to Think Central and do the assignment for lesson 10.6, and then we will be done with chapter 10. And tomorrow we will do a whole chapter review and take a short little chapter quiz on Think Central. So go ahead and do lesson 10.6, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.